Donald Trump's hush money trial enters its third week in New York tomorrow.
Yes, the former president is accused of falsifying business records over hush money payments made to the adult actress Stormy Daniels in order to cover up their alleged affair.
Well, he's denied all wrongdoing, as we know. Let's talk to Professor Scott Lucas, Professor of US Politics at University College London. Good to see you this morning. I have to say, I don't really know much about what's been going on in the trial, because the headlines certainly over here have all been sort of contempt of court and gag orders and all this sort of thing.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, all the drama has been that Trump has been fined $9,000 because he continues to insult the proceedings, insulting the judge, insulting the prosecutors, insulting the judge's family, the judge's clerk. But it's been really important these 2 weeks in terms of setting up where we go with the substance of this trial, which, of course, is about falsifying business records as part of an interference in the 2016 election. And I think you just heard from Mark Oaten that in politics, sometimes it's quite good to be quiet but effective. The same is true in trials. What the prosecution has been doing, because this is their turn in court, has been laying out the evidence, which is, I think, is pretty clear that the Trump team were very worried about his sexual encounters and his affair with Karen McDougal, his sexual encounter with the porn star Stormy Daniels, that there was motive there to try to keep Stormy Daniels quiet, that the money was paid to her in October of 2016. And the next week, they'll probably then get to the substance of, yes, and then the business records were falsified to cover up that payment. Where the defense is going to go when it comes their turn, I don't think they can really knock back that evidence. I think what they do is they'll go after the witnesses. They'll go after the character of the witnesses, especially Stormy Daniels and Donald Trump's former fixer, Michael Cohen.
And how do you think this is actually affecting Donald Trump himself? Because we've seen, haven't we, Scott Lucas, in previous trials, that this actually helps him a lot in the polls. It feeds into his narrative, doesn't it, of him versus the establishment. But actually, I think for the first time in this trial, we have seen him getting somewhat frustrated. Do you think that's because it's been such a long trial so far?
Well, I think it was always a bit of a myth. More, it was a spin line by the Trumpists that the trials always help him. They kind of say that because it's like, oh, don't put him on trial or else he'll win. I don't think it helped him, for example, when he was found guilty of defamation and sexual assault of E. Jean Carroll, the writer. It won't help him with women voters. In terms of this trial, what's compounded that is that Trump is kind of limited in what he can say because, of course, he risks getting fined if he lashes out too much, and because practically he has to be in court rather than on the campaign trail. And for that reason, he is getting frustrated. He is getting angry in court because Trump doesn't really do procedure. He doesn't do evidence. He doesn't even do, dare I say, it's a legal process. He does big speeches. He does loud and bigly. And he can't do that while this trial goes on into a third week, a fourth week, and a second month.
OK. Scott, good to see you this morning. Thank you very much indeed. Well,